Ever felt like you were meant for something more? Have you ever had that nagging feeling deep down that you were meant for something more? That there's a different version of you, a different life for you, that's just waiting to be discovered? If that sounds familiar, I promise you, you are not alone. That sense of unfulfillment isn't a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that you're ready to grow. In fact, research shows that well over half of adults regularly ask themselves how they can find more purpose in their lives. So if you feel a little lost, you're in exactly the right place. This feeling, it's the starting line, not the finishing line. In this video, we're going to journey from the fog of uncertainty towards a place of clarity. We'll start with the very first simple steps of self-reflection to help you uncover what truly makes you tick. We aren't looking for a single magical answer that fixes everything overnight. Instead, we're going to build a compass, a personal compass that will help you navigate your own journey one step at a time. Understanding the nagging feeling. So what is this feeling, really? This sense of being stuck, of watching the days blur by without any real excitement or satisfaction. It's that Sunday evening dread that hits when you think about the week ahead, or it's that quiet voice that whispers, "Is this it?" while you're just going through the motions. Let's be clear, this is completely normal. We've all been conditioned to believe we should have our lives figured out by a certain age. But the truth is, purpose isn't a destination you just arrive at. It's a journey you're always on. It changes as you change. What gave you purpose 10 years ago might not be what lights you up today, and that's perfectly okay. One of the biggest myths we need to bust right now is the idea that your purpose has to be some grand world-changing mission. For some people, sure, it might lead to a global movement, but for others, it's being an incredible parent, creating art that moves just one person, or becoming an expert in something you love, simply for the sake of it. Purpose is just the alignment of your actions with what truly matters to you. I'll say that again. Purpose is just the alignment of your actions with what truly matters to you. It's about finding what makes you feel alive. The problem is, we so often get stuck in the shoulds. You should keep that stable job. You should chase a certain kind of success. You should want what everyone else seems to want. That nagging feeling is your inner self screaming that your shoulds are out of sync with your true values. It's a call to come back home to yourself. So how do you answer that call? It all starts by exploring three paths: the path of reflection, the path of action, and the path of resilience. Let's start by walking down the first one. Path 1, the path of reflection. The first path on this journey isn't about looking outside for answers, it's about looking within. So often we're too busy, too distracted, and too overwhelmed to hear our own inner voice. The path of reflection is all about creating the quiet space you need to finally listen. I want you to grab a pen and paper. No, seriously, do it, and pause this video if you have to. The physical act of writing connects your brain to your thoughts in a really powerful way. First, let's create what I call a joy and energy list. I want you to answer these questions with total honesty. Don't filter yourself. Don't judge the answers. Just write down what comes to mind. Firstly, what activities, past or present, have made you completely lose track of time? Think about moments where you were so absorbed in what you were doing that hours felt like minutes. This is often called a state of flow, and it's a huge clue. So write that down. Next, what topics do you find yourself constantly talking about or sharing with others? Is it articles about technology, or tips about gardening, or stories about ancient history? Your recurring conversations point directly to your passions. And what did you love to do as a kid before the world told you who you should be? Often our purest passions are buried in our childhood memories. So take a few minutes and jot down whatever comes to mind. The goal here isn't to find a career, it's to find a spark. Now for the second part of the reflection, we're going to do a visualization exercise called Your Best Possible Self. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself 5 or 10 years from now. Everything in your life has gone well as it possibly could have. You've worked hard and succeeded at what's most important to you. Now, what are you doing every day? Who are you spending time with? What impact are you having on the world around you, no matter how big or small? Don't just think about what you have, focus on how you feel. Do you feel energized, peaceful, creative, connected? Write down a detailed description of this version of you. This isn't about creating an unrealistic fantasy, it's about giving yourself permission to dream and identifying the core feelings and values you want to move toward, whether that's freedom, creativity, community, or security. Your values are the foundation of your purpose. Path number 2, the path of action. Reflection is essential, but you can't always think your way to purpose. Clarity comes from engagement, not from sitting on the sidelines. And that brings us to the second path, the path of action. This is where we bust another huge myth, the idea that you have to find your passion before you can do anything. It's almost always the other way around. Action and experience are what create clarity. You have to try things on to see if they fit. You have to experiment. Think yourself as a scientist running small, low-stake tests. You take a clue from your reflection. Say you realize you enjoy the idea of helping people and you design a tiny experiment. You don't quit your job to join a non-profit tomorrow. Instead, maybe you volunteer at a local animal shelter for one Saturday. Or perhaps you realize you value creativity. Your experiment could be as simple as signing up for a pottery class or an online writing workshop. The key is to take small, manageable steps. Feeling unfulfilled is overwhelming, and trying to figure out your entire life's purpose at once is paralyzing. The goal isn't to find the one thing right away, it's to collect clues. Did that volunteer experience energize you or drain you? Did you love the process of creating something with your hands? Your only job on this path is to be curious and gather data about yourself. What did you like? What did you hate? What surprised you? Every experience, even the ones you don't enjoy, is valuable information. It helps you cross things off the list and zero in on what truly fits. Here's your challenge for this week. Pick one small action based on a clue from your reflection. It could be reading a book on a topic you're curious about, reaching out to someone with an interesting job and asking for a 15-minute chat, or dedicating 1 hour to a new hobby. And throughout it all, focus on progress, not perfection. You'll have false starts. You'll hit dead ends. That isn't failure, it's just part of the process. You're simply narrowing the possibilities and getting closer to what truly resonates. Remember, purpose isn't always found. It can be built, one action at a time. Path number 3, The path of resilience. You can reflect all day and create the best action plans in the world, but if you don't have the right mindset, the first obstacle will send you right back to square one. This brings us to our third and final path, the path of resilience. This is what keeps you going when things get tough. The biggest obstacle on this journey is almost always fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of what other people will think. Fear is a powerful force that keeps us locked in our comfort zones, even when those comfort zones are making us miserable. The first step is to just acknowledge the fear. Don't fight it. See it for what it is. It's a sign that you're moving towards something that matters. Discomfort is a natural part of growth. When you feel that fear pop up, instead of retreating, I want you to try and reframe it. See it not as a stop sign, but as a welcome sign, letting you know you're stepping into new territory. The second part of resilience is seeking support. You were never meant to do this alone. This whole idea of self-made person who figures it all out in isolation is a total myth. We are social creatures who thrive on connection. Share what you're going through with people you trust, a friend, a family member, or a mentor. Surround yourself with people who support your growth. Sometimes just hearing someone else say, "That's a great idea," or "I believe in you," can make all the difference. You just need to borrow their belief in you until you get your own belief in you stronger. Find online communities, join workshops, or connect with groups of people who are also on this path. Finally, the cornerstone of resilience is patience and self-compassion. This is a journey, not a race. There is no deadline for discovering your purpose. Be kind to yourself. Some days you'll feel motivated and clear, and other days you'll feel lost all over again. That's okay. Instead of beating yourself up, talk to yourself like you would a good friend. Acknowledge how far you've come and celebrate the small wins along the way. If this journey of self-discovery is hitting home for you and you want more practical advice for living a more fulfilled life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you want personalized help from me, someone who's been working for over 45 years in various roles, from employee to employer to business owner, and who's a certified life and workplace coach and has spent the last 10 years coaching people on how to take charge of their career and life, then please do subscribe to this channel. And if you want, hit the link in the description and we can jump on a call and chat about your particular situation. So in conclusion, what does all this mean? Well, what it means is that nagging feeling that you're meant for something more isn't a curse, it's a calling. It's an invitation to begin one of the most rewarding adventures of your life. We've talked about the three paths to get you started. The path of reflection, to listen to your inner voice and figure out what you value. The path of action, to gather clues and create clarity through real-world experience. And the path of resilience, to build the mindset you need to navigate the inevitable ups and downs. This process won't always be easy, but it'll be absolutely worth it. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step towards a life that feels more like your own. A life filled with more meaning, more joy, and a deeper sense of who you are. Remember, you have the power to change your story. The journey of self-discovery is waiting for you. Embrace it.